Greetings, fellow Poltermasters. Greetings, fellow Poltermasters. I'm Crash Rousins. Once again, time to Crash Skylanders. Another episode of Crash is Curious here on the channel. Thank you all so much for coming back and watching another episode here on this channel. And of course, you already saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, and you see my ugly face. Crash, you're going to find out which Skylander is the heaviest. Yeah, I'm generally curious. A couple Skylanders are super duper light. Some of them seem a lot of bulk. Well, a lot bulkier. But which one is actually the heaviest according to an actual scale? So I have this little scale that I own that we use it to weigh our, what's it called? Our leopard gecko whenever he gets, well, Cocoa Bean, you know him. I don't know why I said leopard gecko. To weigh Cocoa Bean whenever he starts to lose weight or gain weight, we like to make sure his weight is fluctuated. We can also do it with our snakes too, but we have to have like a bowl and stuff, so it's a little bit weird. But we mostly use it for him. However, he just sits in the room collecting dust, and I said, since it can weigh literally anything, why don't I weigh the Skylanders? So, of course, certain Skylanders are going to be way lighter than other ones just by looking at them alone. Of course, the bigger the figure, the more weight it's going to be. So that's how I broke it down. Of course, any Skylander core from Spyro's Adventure, Giants, Swap Force, Trap Team, none of them are actually going to be, in the running for it. Now, I could easily just figure out the way heaviest of those ones, but that's just dumb. So I took all of them out of the equation right away. I also took all the Superchargers and Swap Force characters out, because looking at the other three that I'm going to be comparing them to, yeah, it's going to be almost next to impossible to give them a fair chance, because they're going to be way smaller. So that leaves only a couple more, leaves three actually, three sets of characters. The Giants from Giants, the Trap Masters from Trap Team, and any of the Imaginator characters. Now, I looked at certain Imaginator characters. I know they weren't going to be super heavy, like, say, Bad Juju or Ember, for example. I knew they were very light on their feet, so I took them out just by general look. And, of course, certain Trap Masters, like, say, Shortcut or Tough Luck, no point to even have them because I know the weight of them are not going to work. However, I did weigh every single one of the Giants just for the fun of it, because I weighed all of them except Ninjini. Ninjini is the lightest, fun fact. And some were very surprising. Like, Eyebrow was only not even 100 grams, so very interesting. But, however, I have determined the heaviest Skylander, top 5 that is. So if you guys are wondering how I did it, this is how I actually filmed it first. So what I did was take every Skylander that I thought was going to be the heaviest, kind of pick them up, see if there's any kind of heft to them, and then place them on the scale. What I did was I recorded the amount that was there. I had a big giant list. It was about 14 or 15 different Skylanders by the end of it. And then I broke it down for my top 5. So whichever one was the heaviest. Certain Skylanders I picked up were a lot lighter than I thought they could have been, which was very surprising. Like Eyebrow, for example, very light, as I found out. But a lot of them a lot heavier than I thought they were. So certain Skylanders that seemed like they weren't very heavy, I put them on there anyways just out of general curiosity to see if they would be any bigger, and of course they weren't. But a lot surprised me, so I gotta say, definitely seeing these Skylanders than the heaviest, well, it's gonna be very interesting to see who our top 5 is. So very straightforward is I put the Skylander on the thing, wrote down the amount, and then took the list and took the 5 heaviest Skylanders and put them all on my phone, ready for you guys today. So are you curious, because I am, to see who the heaviest Skylander figure is outside a box? So these are our top 5 after weighing all the Imaginators, most of them, all the Giants, and almost every single Trap Master. In 5th place, at 136 grams, is Chain Reaction. So I will tell you, he is actually the only Imaginator on this list. So Chain Reaction is the heaviest Imaginator figure out of all of them. Right behind him, though, interestingly, was Pinata at 135 and Kingpin at 134. So they were very close to each other, but Chain Reaction was a tiny bit heavier, so he gets number 5. Number 4 of the heaviest Skylander at 137 grams is Thumpback. Yes, 1 gram more than Chain Reaction. Thumpback is the actual other heaviest Skylander. At number 3, it's the heaviest Giant at Tree Rex at 139 grams. Yes, the next 2 Skylanders are all from Trap Team, just letting you know. So the heaviest Skylanders are on Trap Team. So yes, Tree Rex being at 139, I believe it. He is a pretty bulky Skylander. I mean, he's literally a tree. Trees are very heavy. So yeah. At number 3 is Tree Rex. And here we go, folks. Number 2. At 154 grams is Kaboom. Yeah, I knew he was going to be a heavy one just because he's a bulky looking figure and that cannon is massive, so I knew he was going to be on this list. But at number 2, at 154, not bad at all. And of course, number 1. Now, you might have thought to yourself, Crash, I know who the heaviest one is just by looking at him. I kind of knew this too, just because of how heavy this figure is. At number 1, from Trap Team at 160 grams, is Wallop. Yes, Wallop is the heaviest Skylander figure that you can get in any of the games out of box. Very interesting to see what Skylanders we had today. And I mean, I tried a bunch of different ones, some way lighter than I thought they'd be, some way heavier than I thought they'd be. Like Chain Reaction, I didn't think would be the heaviest one. I thought for sure Pinata because he's very bulky. But I even took it off of the actual scale and put it back on again to make sure it wasn't incorrect. And I had it on a flat surface too. As you've seen from the video, it was a flat surface. I know it's on top of a Gundam box, but those Gundam boxes are very flat, just saying. But that's going to do it for the heaviest Skylander. If you guys were wondering who it was, and of course you're going to be like, so Crash, who's the lightest Skylander? I'm not doing that. That's not coming out in a future episode. But if you want to do that yourself, very much go for it and leave in a comment below who the lightest one is or who you think the actual heaviest one is. Maybe I made a mistake, even though there's like, Crash, you should have weighed Slam Bam. He's actually 160 grams. He's not, though. But thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment below and come back next week for another awesome episode of Crash is Curious. Remember, 10 full weeks of this series is happening now, really. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next week for another awesome video, and I hope you stay as curious as I am. But as always, I bid you farewell.